last episode, we discovered the rich history and roots of the Philippine Academy of Ophthalmology, or PAO. We learned how our organization did not start out like any other, and how our birth wasn't easy. In the beginning, there was division in the ophthalmic community, but different groups soon realized that each one had the same vision. We all wanted to nourish the practice of ophthalmology in the country. And through unity and finding common ground, we are bigger than ever before. Today, with 76 years of growth and experience, our organization paved the way for several groups that serve their own special function. Through them, we remain dynamic with the changing needs of both our ophthalmologists and the Filipino people. In the second installment of the PAO's 75th anniversary video series, let us take a peek into some of these groups that work way beyond their call of duty. The Philippine Academy of Ophthalmology's 75th anniversary presents One Vision. Meet the PAO Working Committees. Our first organization deals with retinopathy of prematurity, or simply ROP. ROP is the condition in premature newborns that, if left unchecked, can lead to a lifetime of visual disability. Meet the heroes protecting the vision of premature newborns, the ROP Working Group.
As a retina specialist, I just rolled along with my practice. I started getting this, paminsan-minsan may pasyenteng dadali ng mother na 4 months old, completely blind, alam kong ROP, di na-refer. It was more noticeable at that time than before. The crux of the matter is actually lies in a referral from the pediatrician. I think God set things into motion the way it happened. So, nung padami na sila, Orbis called me to a meeting in Guangzhou, asked me to bring 3 ophthalmologists, 3 retina specialists with pedia, opta, and the pediatrician neonatologist to attend the meeting of Orbis of 6 countries who had ROP programs. And then came the Second World Congress of ROP because our names were in that list in Guangzhou. So we went, and then that solidified our intention when we came home after those 2 trips to form an ROP group, and we did. I called the meeting, I think it was November 9, 2012, when we first met at the STG. We continued as an RP working group. We plodded along. Our target was education muna. Eye-openers ang gusto namin. Lately, I think it was 2017 or 2016 when PAO finally made us a subcommittee of the Committee on Continuing Ophthalmology. So, subcommittee kami nun. Of the community, we were pleasantly surprised kasi our first symposium, ang daming nag-attend. It was full house kasi we only booked a small room with PAO. People all of a sudden woke up, oo nga na may ROP pala sa syllabus natin, ba't di natin inaaral yan? All we wanted to do was alert everybody, re-educate everybody, re-inform everybody that this monster exists at pwede naman siya kasing magamot kung timely ang intervention at screening. Wala kailangan mabulag.
Now, years into giving premature Filipino babies a chance to live a full and capable life, the ROP Working Group has bridged specialties to work on a common goal.
Well, for one, it has heightened awareness among us ophthalmologists, even pediatricians, obstetricians, and other medical societies. It has led to a joint statement between PAO, the Philippine Pediatric Society, and the Philippine Society for Newborn Medicine as regards guidelines into ROP screening. Another achievement is that it has opened doors for timely researches among the consultants and even our residents in training. And it has also created a room for families to have hope, especially families with children who have ROP. One notable contribution is that the joint project with Apple the App Foundation, where the latter has already donated retinal imaging devices and lasers for the treatment of ROP in government institutions like the Southern Philippines Medical Center and the Jose B. Lingad Medical Center. We have continually pushed the government agencies like PhilHealth for policy revisions in the reimbursements for the care of the premature baby.
Bridging gaps between like-minded societies have benefited Filipino babies and their families. And through our ophthalmologists and the ROP working group, we're playing our part.
Now, ophthalmologists nationwide have available linkages for support in the screening and treatment through the ROP Registry of Screeners. We are also hoping to finish the ROP registry by next year. And also, through this, government efforts now are into inviting ophthalmologists in government hospitals to help in their neonatal departments. The PAO ROP working group is recognized already, not just nationwide, but internationally.
Dissemination of correct information is critical to any organization. How do you keep ophthalmologists from an island nation informed and updated? This group gives it to them fast and straight to the point. May we have your attention as we welcome Philippine Ophthalmology's Masters of Information, Focal Point.
Focal Point is a newsletter, if I remember right, started upon the instance of Dr. Chonico when he was president of the PSO between 1989 and 1990. Dr. Lim had a PAO newsletter. So he wanted me to resurrect that kind of a forum by which we are able to reach out to members during his presidency as PSO president. No? So he wanted me to report on council news during his presidency. So I asked Dr. Rene Mendoza upon his instance if he could be co-editors with me with that then generic PSO-PAO newsletter. So we were the founding editors. For us to bring to the awareness of members our resistance during the attempted passage of the controversial optometry bill. Sometime in 1996, when the PSO and PAO merged and became one, we no longer can call it PSO-PAO newsletter because we only had one organization. I just had to name it the Focal Point using an optical term that we use all the time, connoting the point at which waves and rays would meet. No? So giving you the impression that it is the focal point, which is the main point of attention that our members should get themselves concerned about.
And now, with the advent of online information technology and social media, eFocal Point has given our community all the important ophthalmology news and updates literally right at their fingertips. When it comes to treating our patients, nothing beats evidence-based practices. All the hard work of our residents and consultants that are poured into research, case reports, meta-analyses, and clinical trials are all reviewed and published by our partners in ophthalmic study, the Philippine Journal of Ophthalmology.
PJ started with our mentors in the 50s and 60s. When they came back from abroad for their training, of course they saw what others have been doing, they have publications showcasing their work. It's also for the younger ones or their colleagues, when they read it, they will know more about the disease and especially if it's in the area. So they decided that we also need it online.
PGO celebrated its 50th year in 2019. So you would think that a person who's turned 50 would have gained some wisdom and respectability. So I think PGO has that. We've gone digital. So the submission process, review process can all be done online through emails now, and the journals can be accessed online up to the old issues dating back to 2004. They all can be found online.
It is not a very popular area in ophthalmology, but it should always be a part of any eye doctor's practice.
PJO is helping us ophthalmologists, not only in terms of being updated, but if you are a contributor, it also makes you realize that there is more to just clinical practice. But do not make it 100% clinical practice. At least meron kang 20 to 30% doing research, because that will make you a better ophthalmologist and will hone up your critical thinking. And the net effect is, when you see a case in a clinical, your mind is working, you become a better ophthalmologist.
The PJO, through over half a century, has indeed evolved to become an ever-growing repository of curated and accessible ophthalmic knowledge. In each of our ophthalmic calendars, we mostly look forward to the end of the year, the time when the Burr months signal the coming PAO annual convention. 4 days of learning, exchanging ideas, building practices, and buying the best instruments, culminating in one night when the formal wear comes off and costumes come on. 4 days annually that builds a lifetime's worth of networks and trust among colleagues. But behind it is the group responsible for it. Give a warm toast to the Committee on Continuing Education in Ophthalmology.
Well, the CCEO, or the Committee on Continuing Education in Ophthalmology, is one of the biggest committees under the Executive Council of the PAO. And it is in charge of mounting events and educational activities for its members. Well, I actually became part of the CCO initially as Physical Arrangements Committee. I think that was the time when Dr. Aguilar was president. I remember it was a very difficult job then, physical arrangements, because we used to have actual slides that we need to prepare, and then slide projectors that may get stuck anytime. And it was also during that time that there was a transition between these regular slides and the PowerPoint slides. So there was a lot of confusion at that time, but it was fun.
But having a mixture of personalities, all with day jobs, being a member of the CCEO is no walk in the park.
Well, one of the biggest problems of the CCEO is that the members of the CCEO also have other things to do. These are all very busy doctors who have their own clinical practices, and this is just really a thing that they do on a purely voluntary basis, out of love for the PAO. So I always say that in order for you to become an effective member of the CCEO, you really have to love what you're doing, because it entails a lot of sacrifice.
Serving in the CCEO is really a choice and has its costs, but it can be fulfilling as well.
It gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of people. You meet the members, because you're always exposed to them. You meet foreign guests and speakers. You get to deal, with vendors, and you get to interact a lot with our industry partners. So all aspects of ophthalmology you are able to be a part of. So I think that is a very big factor in helping you become a leader, because you get exposed to a lot of things and a lot of people.
Being part of the CCEO widens perspective beyond daily clinical practice.
The CCEO was and is composed of very unselfish people, having many problems to which solutions would have to be made. We get ideas and areas of our calling that should be improved, that struggle to achieve renewal of commitment in our profession. Also, our discerning sense, not just common sense, is developed and further enhanced. We learn to see the profession from another perspective, which is an opportunity to help chart the course of the organization through meetings or conventions.
It takes commitment and selfless service to the organization and its vision.
Because the group welcomes ideas, suggestions, insights, constructive criticisms. We believe that no one has a monopoly of good intention and brilliant ideas. We continue to search for opportunities and innovative ways to change, grow, and improve in our profession.
Behind every organization are the people behind the curtains that ensure the day-to-day runs smoothly. Tireless members that we rely on, happy faces that breathe life into our organization. They make it possible for PAO to go on because every day they choose to carry on. Put your hands together for the PAO Secretariat.
Every event, every convention, after the convention, yung saya ng committee at ng PAO, yung successful event siguro for me. For me kasi it's an accomplishment also.
Ang pinakamasaya sa amin, mag-agree naman siguro na ibang kasama, yung face-to-face convention and mid-year meeting namin.
Talagang sa pa yung maganda yung pag malabas kami ng mga provincial mid-year convention at mga Christmas party, ganun.
Work with them po na like a family po na tatanungin ka kung okay ka na, kaya pa ba. Tapos yung regarding sa annual convention, masarap sa feeling na naging successful yung convention after the hard work na puyat, pagod, yun po.
Most of our time kasi during convention was devoted to PAO. Minsan yung pagkain.
Siguro yung kalaban talaga namin yung during convention, annual convention, yung puyat, syempre pagod.
During the interaction with the doctors po, nakaka-build kayo ng friendship between the staff and the doctors. Minsan, parang yung after the work, hindi mo na maiisip na isa kang staff or ano. Parang, iba naman yung level nila, pero yung treatment nila to us, hindi naman nalalayo as a doctor. So, parang yung friendship nandoon na.
Beyond its ophthalmologists, the PAO is only as strong as its support group, who have dedicated years or decades of their service. They are the ones that call our organization their second home. The heroes of infant eyesight, the masters of information, the mavens of research, the life of education and events, the support group who has been behind us from the very beginning. These are just some of the proud members of the Philippine Academy of Ophthalmology, the many arms of one strong organization, many brilliant minds that share one single vision. We will continue to grow in numbers and grow so much stronger as we reach for new heights together. Until then, see you again next time.